Week 8 of the NFL. And we're going to look here at All-Pro Devontae Adams. He got to the century mark in receiving last week with a pair of scores. It's the Raiders and the Saints, and it's coming up next on Madden NFL 23.
The first opened back in 1975. There's a look inside the iconic Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Las Vegas Raiders and the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they interplay. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. Now here come the Saints, about to begin their first possession, and the man in charge of this offense, his 8th season now in the NFL, former #1 pick, Jameis Winston.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting out a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down. The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. Pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
They go play action. Winston. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Chandler Jones from that outside linebacker spot gets in there. It's a loss of 9. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. Here comes Abdullah on the return. It'll be a 41-yard punt. Give them 5 on the return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. And as the Raiders take over on offense, we get to see the man who has been the leader of this team for 9 seasons now, under center Derek Carr.
And he made both sides happy last week, didn't he?
Yeah, 3 and 3.
I mean, his guys, they caught 3 touchdown passes, but he threw 3 interceptions. Gotta get off of that schneid and get back to just throwing touchdown passes and taking care of the ball better.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. First carry for the former Pro Bowler, Josh Jacobs. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard. A check on Jacobs from a week ago. 18 carries, 65 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. Give him 17 yards that time as they'll move the Giants.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, come together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
On 1st down, Carr. Back to Renfrow again, complete. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. Carr to throw again. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Carr. It's caught here by Adams. And the Raiders are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
That's a sharp throw right there on 3rd down. They're looking to get the first points of the game, and they certainly don't want to be on a field goal. So that's a nice job to get the hook up and set up a 1st and goal.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. Here's Carr to throw. Toward the pylon, caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Darren Waller, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. You'd have to imagine for a team that's lost 3 straight games, scoring first in this first quarter has to feel pretty good.
It has to feel great for them, and also it's a nice signal to the rest of the team, because we talk about complimentary football all the time. So they've now signaled to the defense, now signal to the kicking game, hey, we're here to play in this one. We're going to do our part. Let's see if you guys will do the exact same, and we can break this losing streak.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their 2nd drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
That's complete to Troutman, right side. The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 10 yards, good for the Saints, 1st down. The Saints now at 2-5 to start play. They come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. From the gun, Winston. That pass complete to Deontay Hardy. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll make it 2nd down. Now Winston. They'll get this out to Kamara. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Winston from the gun on 3rd down. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 43. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
3rd and 4 is always a tough call. Maybe a little too long to run for it, but not too long to hit him on the quick slant. And that was well executed. Found the window and zipped it right in there.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 43. Play fake. Winston. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. Jameis again. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter.
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Meanwhile, Winston's throw complete there to Thomas. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. To throw, Winston. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 8.
On 3rd down, Winston. Back to Kamara for another catch. And the Saints are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Ready for the 2nd quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Jameis to throw it. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal.
Here's Winston. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he's able to break out a one tackle, but then quickly brought down.
A 2-yard pickup. Brings up 3rd and goal.
3rd and goal. Winston. Flush to his right. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. 2nd drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And the football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage, while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Carr finding his former college teammate Adams there for the Raider first. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
On play action, it's Carr. And he's left with no option here but to throw away. An incomplete pass on second down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Landry now on the return. It'll be a 39-yard punt. Give him a good 10 yards on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The New Orleans offense set to take over. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Winston. Over the middle into the hands of Michael Thomas. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Winston to give. It's Kamara. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
He was taken down behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd
Winston.
and 11 at the 42-yard line.
Open man is the tight end Troutman.
Winston's pass.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Gain of 8. Makes it 3rd and 3.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
He's tackled at the
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Winston to the sideline here on 4th down, and Will Lutz gets set for a New Orleans field goal try. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. The kick by Lutz is good, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So they're content to take the 3. Somewhat of a conservative call. They're opting not to go for it on 4th and inches.
And that's from a team that you and I know is not usually playing it close to the vest. It's a little bit of a surprise that they opted for the 3 instead of going for it.
This taken in at the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Raiders offense ready to go. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And he'll just get rid of it. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Carr. To to the sideline. He's got the catch, and he kept the feet in bounds. Well done. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
Throwing on first down is Carr. And that is incomplete. Wow, the coverage a little too good there. And it's second down. To throw on 2nd and 10. Carr. And his throw here is incomplete. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Carr to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's knocked away and incomplete. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Now Landry. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offensive coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
On play action, Winston. This is caught. It's Hardy. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he'll get this forward only for about a yard, as that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Winston now from the 50. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Here's Winston. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Here's Blake Gillikin now. And look at this. It's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. That's one of those, Charles, when it works, it looks amazing, and when it doesn't, it means trouble.
Yeah, you're right about that one, partner, because that allows us to say, what are you thinking when it doesn't work? Although I know in his mind when he made the call, he was thinking about the amazing part. But in this case, I think the defense, they caught on to this fairly quickly, and they were able to force the incomplete pass.
First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
So the 14 yards actually takes him from 143 to the other for 1st and 10. Now Carr. Renfro bringing it in over the middle. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. From the 39-yard line, here comes second down at 6. Working from the gun, it's Carr. That one into the hands of Adams downfield. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Davante Adams, 39 yards. And the Raiders will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that lead is now 7 with a chance to go to 8 or more if they want to get crazy here, which we don't expect. But I just know the way the game's being played with the analytics, there's going to be a lot more of going for 2 in a lot of situations, isn't there?
Yeah, there's going to be. And I think their focus here, they don't want to give up anything going into the lockers on the other, and just a little bit of time left on the clock.
Yeah, they don't want to do anything to erase the good feeling they have right now by getting this late score in the half.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Alvin Kamara and the Saints set to start their next drive. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes. Steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game, opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen. He's going to loft one, deep left side here. He's got a man, complete. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
For the field goal, a 35-yard attempt.
The kick by Lutz is good, and that'll get the lead down to 5. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense is struggling a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And with only 9 seconds remaining, with not much time, we'll see how they play this. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. So we've come to halftime in a 5-point game. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, good work in that first half. More from you guys in a minute. But first, let's get to some scores right here on the day before Halloween. Let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. On now to a check on the next-gen stats in the first half for the Raiders. And their passing game has been the reason why they lead thus far. They've had great success moving the ball through 2 quarters of play. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they were even better throwing the football. Lots of open receivers to choose from, and you can bet that'll continue to be a focus in the second half.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. Here's Abdullah from his end zone. So here are the Raiders now to take over. They are trying to snap that 3-game losing streak on top so far with the football here, 1st and 10. On the ground, Jacobs will get the third quarter started. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Second down, Jacobs once more. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing his car on third down. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. They convert on third with a gain of 22.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable third down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
It's a jet sweep. This is Renfro. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1 yard gain. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And down he goes at the 49. A 3-yard pickup. From the gun now on third down. Carr. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Las Vegas. And this is away, and I don't think Landry will get a chance to return here. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Throwing on second and long. Winston. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. A nice move gets him a few extra. Down just shy of his 20. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a third down.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves, that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
Now Winston. And the Raiders have got him. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Here comes the Saints punter now. On, we think, to punt, though he's faked it earlier, but he was unsuccessful. Abdullah to return. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. On first down, Carr. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. On second down, Jacobs. And some room to work. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 47 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Jacobs is not going anywhere. He'll be hit and dropped for no gain at the 2-yard line. They'll try and power it home here with a fullback Johnson. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I get the thought process, 3rd and short, give it to the fullback, let him bulldoze his way, but that means you're counting on your offensive line to win the line of scrimmage, aren't you?
Yeah, there was just a mass of bodies there at the line. Looked like more defenders than offensive guys. Winds up losing yardage. So Carr will depart, and on comes the Raider kicker Daniel Carlson for the field goal try. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. The kick by Carlson is good, and that'll push the lead up to 8. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
Taking it about the 1. On the return, Deontay Hardy. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position and you flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw is Winston. There again is Thomas. They've gone to him a lot. And they're going to get this up to midfield. That catch, by the way, number 542 in his NFL career. That draws him level with Lance Allworth, who was a Hall of Famer with the Chargers back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, the man they called Bambi. So if you're in that type of territory, catch the same number of passes he caught, you know you're on your way to a big-time career. And just think, he's not through yet.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he is going to lose yardage here. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
Again, it's Winston. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
He sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. And let's see who's faster.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. Kamara up the middle. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Now Winston. They'll get this out to Kamara. And he gets it down to the 32.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And he'll go down at the 28. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Again, it's Kamara. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down. Jameis to throw it. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Desperation time. Winston on fourth down. And this is caught. He hits Landry. And the Saints are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And that's a much-needed first down right there. Look, they're down by 8. So logic says they don't have to get a touchdown out of this drive. But the way things are going, I don't know if I'd put it in the hands of my defense here. You might not get the ball back at all. So if a fourth down situation comes up, I'm thinking hard about going for it right here and right now.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And the Raiders are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. So a good drive with a bad ending, Charles. They move it down the field well. Cannot finish it off, though, as it's intercepted in the end zone.
Deflating, that has got to be the word here because they were sharp in moving it down the field. But sometimes you start thinking like a touchdown is a given. And it doesn't always work out that way as we saw there.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Another important fourth quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. Now after the INT, it's Carr. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. And that is incomplete. The offense on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10. To throw is Carr. Looking deep for Adams. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock. Really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 35. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The New Orleans offense set to take over. As this offense takes the field against CD. Remember last drive, they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. And they'll hold him to 3 there as he takes this up to the 47. Here's Winston. Open man is the tight end Troutman. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. It'll be a Saints first down on the pickup of 13.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. In that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now it's Kamara in the passing game. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. From the 31, Winston. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
And the Saints first down.
They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. Well, that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again. 53 yards rushing for him now to this point. From the 5 now, second and a yard.
Brings up second and a yard at the 5-yard line.
A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again. 4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to first and goal.
A gain of 4 yards. That's another.
Jones is in. Touchdown, New Orleans. So part one of what they needed is done. They get in the end zone. Now you have to imagine we'll see a try for 2.
And that's what the book says, but defensively, they can't hang their head right here. They still got a chance to come out with the lead if they make a play.
All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. Winston to throw for it. And he's going to be sacked. They came after him. He couldn't get away. And this remains a 2-point game. And a failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football. Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. And Waller taking it in over the middle. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Holding offense.
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. Colton Miller, former first-round pick, called for the penalty there. On play action, now Carr. Eluding the... And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Cameron Jordan able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Cameron Jordan, truly the heart and soul of the Saints defense, had another memorable year in 2021. He crossed 100 sacks and made his 5th straight Pro Bowl.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Carr. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now, standing just outside his own goal line. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. Here now is 2nd and 10, again for the 41. Winston now. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Winston. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Carr now on 1st down. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to him. 11 yards and a 1st down. Well, I'm sure he likes his performance a little bit better than last week. He had the 3 interceptions here, none in the 4th quarter, and he's got his guys in front.
Guaranteed he put in a tremendous amount of work this week. But maybe the matchup is just better for him. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. It's almost like those golfers. Certain courses fit their eye, and they like what they see. And other courses, as soon as they tee it up, they know they have no shot. Maybe that's the difference for him. Last week, no. This week, a big yes.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he's going to be unable to get upfield as they take him down at the 21-yard line. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter play. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Back to throw, Carr. And that will be incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
Here's A.J. Cole now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Taken from just outside the 30. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. Winston and the Saints now down 17-15. 1:40 remaining. And they're in danger of a 3rd straight loss as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Winston. Throw left side complete to Troutman. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. Winston to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Got to be careful here. They need to move quickly, but it's also 4th. And this is caught on the sideline. Are the feet in? They are. What a catch. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. That's evidence of why you spend a high draft pick on a receiver, isn't it, Charles?
It certainly is. His ability to make plays like that, and we've seen flashes of it from him so far in his rookie season. but also it opens things up for the rest of the offense because they have to bring their attention to him as well.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Here's Winston. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
A give to Kamara running right. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. They run it again with Kamara. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. The kick by Lutz is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
Now it's the Raiders' turn, trailing by a point after the made field goal. 25 seconds remaining. A 4th straight defeat looming on the horizon, barring a comeback here as they've got it with a first down. He's got a man, complete. And he will step out of bounds all the way down inside the 40. It's a big play there for Vegas. 42 yards. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy's still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to almost certainly win the football game. And off the crossbar, and it kicks back out. Needed maybe a foot or 2, but it's no good as it stands. And that'll keep this a 1-point game.
Yeah, Brandon, that's a tough distance with the game on the line because you'd like to give your kicker better odds than that. Anything 50-plus, we know it's going to be difficult. And that would prove to be just a little too difficult. And now it appears it's going to cost him the football game.
Winston will kneel down, and that should be your ball game. Well, Charles, we were treated to an excellent game today, capped off by that second-half comeback. This was a joy to watch.
Entertaining for us, not so much to the team who led at halftime, and now is leaving here, knowing that they let a win slip through their fingers. Tough one for them to carry home.
So for New Orleans, they get a much-needed victory to get to 3-5 on the year. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Baltimore Ravens next week. Meanwhile, for Las Vegas, they dip to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a